That'll be so much fun. Then we'll go have dinner. After dinner, there's this great dessert place. After dessert, we're going to go to drink wine and do paintings.
Yeah, and then they put up with each other all day and go home.
The whole day.
Then they go home and
the whole day.
And they get on the phone with whatever one they're on the side with, and they motherfuck each other.
Right.
For hours.
Yeah.
And then they all get back together again.
Exactly.
I would love to try as a social experiment. You and I actually try and take a weekend trip. We'll go down to the Jersey Shore or something. No, let's hear.
But I'm already tired.
Here's what would happen. We'd get down there. We'd get a drink.
Well, here's how it would start. We would drive down separately.
We would drive down. We would.
We wouldn't drive together.
Because I got to control my radio.
Right, exactly.
You know, you got to control yours.
And I spend my whole week talking to people. I'm not going to be in a car talking to anybody.
Right, so we're already decompressing on the way down.
Right.
We'd get a drink, have fun for half an hour, decide we're hungry, go to a Stewart's or something.
Right.
Make fun of everybody over there and go, I'm done?
Yeah.
Right? You're done?
That's it. Maybe.
How do we get the money back for the hotel and go home?
Right.
It's over.
Are we sharing a room or separate rooms?
We got to have separate rooms.
Got to be separate rooms. I'm not sharing a room with anybody.
No.
No.
And then it just becomes depressing. They lock themselves into these long thing. Everything's got to be another thing.
Right. And even when they're in the room together, the hotel room, there has to be some sort of activity. Let's
play a game.
Let's play a game. Let's do each other's hair.
Yeah, they have outfits.
Let's have someone come in for a bra fitting.
There's nothing more aggravating than seeing a bachelorette party in full swing.
Right.
And you've seen probably a million as a comedian.
Every weekend there's
got to be
bachelorette
parties. And I actually, when I was doing comedy, encountered a few of them. That's got to be maybe the worst group of people that you have to deal with.
Easily the worst. Even bachelor parties are better because it's just the guys hanging out together having fun.
Yeah.
And they don't want to be the center of attention because they're uncomfortable that it's a bunch of guys hanging out together at a comedy show when they should be at a strip club or something.
Right.
Because it's a bachelor party.
Yeah.
So that's
and you can make fun of
you can make fun of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the first thing I always say. You know?
I think I walked a bachelorette party at Marissa's.
You think?
I think I did. I think I was opening for Bobby Slayton.
Okay. If you didn't walk him, he would have walked him.
I forget what I said, but they were out.
And they got up and left because you ruined their night.
Yeah.
You ruined
Good
their
thing
night.
Brad wasn't there.
Oh, my God.
Because he would have told me why I walked them instead of saying, well, they're fucking idiots.
No, there would have been a 30-minute, what's it called? After a mission, and you have to talk about the mission that you just did.
Oh, a debriefing.
There'd been a 30-minute debriefing.
What could you have done better, Lulu?
Yeah, what could you have done?
I don't know. I thought it was pretty funny when I told the lady to... stick her dick straw in her ear and get out of here.
And you know why you fit? Because you didn't bring the funny. You have to bring the funny.
I think that was the same night that Slayton insisted that I physically go remove Dom Fig from the stage because he was ready.
Oh, really?
Should I be telling these stories?
No, that's great.
These are good stories, right? Like I could tell these stories.
I love Dom
especially
Fig.
because I have no aspirations.
I love Dom Fig, but he does tend to go a little long sometimes.
He didn't go.
Oh, no.
He didn't go over his time.
Slayton was just ready.
He was ready. I'm ready. Get this guy off the stage. So,
and you had what? Did you have a hook or something?
I'm new here.
Right.
Aren't you the host? Go up and get him. I was like, I guess I can do that. It was weird. It was very uncomfortable. I think I chose inactivity. I can't remember.
No, I headlined. I didn't even realize as a headliner I could do that. That I could actually have the guy before me.
Well,
removed from the stage. I'm going to start doing that. Holy shit. I am so going to start doing that.
If there's a puppet act.
Oh, no, if there's just an act.
Let me ask you this. I don't know if I ever asked you this question. It's ridiculous. You do 99% crowd work.
At least, yeah.
And when you headline, you don't ask people not to do crowd work, do you? Or do you?
No, I don't care if they do or not.
You should.
Yeah.
But
no.
I'm not saying you should. I'm not telling you what to do. But
Right.
I'm saying I bet you a lot of guys that do almost all crowd work would probably say that if they're the headliner to people coming up before them.
Well, no,
but you don't care.
I don't care because whatever they have to say is nowhere near as good as what I have to say.
There you go, and I knew that answer was coming, and I appreciate
Here's
the
what drives me nuts. When some kid is opening for me, and so we'll do the 2 Friday night shows, then we'll do like the Saturday night. By the second show on Saturday, all of a sudden he decides that he's going to talk to the audience. Because he's seen me do it, he's seen me get big laughs.
Sure, I want to dip my toe in that.
And he's going to say, this is it. Oh, my God, it's easy. If this fat fuck can do it.
Yeah.
I can do it. And then they go down in flames.
Sure.
But now that I know I can turn to someone and say, get him off the stage.
It's the newest thing out.
I'm going to start using that.
And it's not new. It happened years ago. I don't know what it was. 8 years ago.
Yeah.
Get this guy on stage.
You know what I was going to bring up, too? That when this show is over today, I just leave. We don't do much of a goodbye ever, do we?
No, what's the point? What are we going to do?
Yeah, even when I do your radio show, when I'm done, I'm done. Bye.
Yeah, like what are we going to do?
Yeah, see you later. Why would I hang out?
Are we in fear that the other might die? Is going off to like a battle in a war, or like I will see you next week?
Yeah, I will. And you know what? I'll show up. We'll do the show, and then I'll fucking go home.
What was this, bromance?
The bromance.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, which I hate that term anyway.
Well, it's a term.
Yeah.
So we hate it.
Yeah, it is a term.
I hate classifications
I
for
hate
anything.
titles.
I hate titles.
I agree.
I didn't like naming the segments for the show.
No.
This show.
Right. But we had to have some sort of structure.
We have.
It's got to be structure.
Which is fine. I've heard that shit before.
No.
I've heard it before, but I don't get it.
Can I just say that before we started doing this show, that an hour and a half long phone conversation we had going over what we think the show should be segment by segment was excruciating.
Yeah.
It was excruciating.
I agree.
Yeah.
I agree. Any conversation that's an hour and a half is excruciating. Right. I feel like when you're trying to achieve something creative, it's already a hard thing.
Yeah.
I mean, you're putting yourself out there, and if you're any good at it after a lot of years, you're confident in it. But there are no guarantees.
And also, whatever original idea you have, the finished product will not look like the original idea, ever.
True.
When you're a creative person.
True.
Ever.
Right. So, but you have this daunting task ahead of you because there are no guarantees that it will work out. And usually you're okay with that if you've done it for a long enough time period. What is exhausting about the process is when you are in a position where you have to have other people involved for whatever the reason may be. Maybe it's the person who runs the venue. Maybe it's an agent. Maybe whoever it is. And now Brad's probably listening closely because he thinks we're talking about him, about to make fun of him. And that's not necessarily
at
true.
all.
Where my head is going is with my other job at the radio station. When you get all these people involved, it's meetings.
Oh.
And there's nothing dumber than that.
Every day at my TV show, before the show starts, I have to talk to the producers about every segment.
Why?
This is what's happening. This is what so-and-so is going to do. This is what he's going to do. This is what she's going to say.
Oh, you need to know your transitions.
We need the
and all that
audience
stuff.
to do this. But...
Oh, you do it every day.
I've been doing warm-up for 17 years.
Well, those are the most bullshit meetings.
You know.
When you're actually going over things that you've done for so many years that you could do in your sleep.
And I already know what's going to happen. Because I watched rehearsal, so I know what's going to happen. But there's always got to be someone in charge that tells you what to do.
Oh, you don't even fucking
because
know.
They had someone in charge telling you what to do.
I thought we were relating to each other. Thank you, Erica.
Look at this.
My wife brought us coffee.
And I got the unicorn mug. I don't know what you're implying.
Thank you.
Thank you. That was great.
Awesome.
What mug did you? You got a picture of her on the mug.
Do you know that it's sexist to be a woman? Like you're not helping feminism by bringing us coffee.
No,
Did she leave?
Yeah, she's gone. She's gone.
You know that there's some fucking beaver face asshole who thinks that my wife just set feminism back 10 years by bringing us coffee.
By bringing us coffee, because it's not a woman's job to bring men coffee.
Hate people. I was about to make a point. What was it? Oh, you have no idea. Because now that I think about it, your meeting thing where they tell you you need to do this, that, and the other thing, which you already know, is nothing compared to what I'm actually trying.
No, I know that you go through a lot of shit every day just to get your
special,
creativity.
For example.
All right.
So we did this special for our 10-year anniversary for the radio show.
Right, and it was there were a lot of moving parts.
And when I make a creative decision, it's made.
Yeah. And
this is how we're doing it. And then all these people get involved, and they have bad ideas, and better ideas, and worse than bad ideas. And there's nothing more infuriating. You don't know how many times I wanted to say, well, then we're not going to do it.
Yeah. Done.
I'll take my ball and go home.
See, but that's why I became a stand-up comic.
Yeah, it's all you.
Because I was involved in theater. I, worked with bands. I did all sorts of stuff.
Yeah.
And there's always other people that had to be involved. You couldn't just do a play unless you involved 30 other people.
Yeah.
A band can't just play unless there's 100 other people involved.
So if you were an athlete, you'd choose an individual sport.
I would javelin.
Shot put.
Shot put.
Masturbation.
No, those are fucking heavy. No. Have you ever picked up a shot put? Heavy.
I don't know.
They're heavy.
I doubt.
They're heavy.
Why would you pick up a shot put?
Why would someone?
Where were you? Where were you that you had access to one?
I was walking down the street.
Okay.
There
Was it that old muscle guy from the circus with the mustache? Was he there?
Yeah, he was there. And the guy that got shot in the stomach with the cannonball in slow motion. He was there too. Yeah. And a bear. There was a bear on the unicycle.
Was the lady who supposedly was holding the cell phone in the Groucho Marx movie there?
Right, yeah, she was there too.
That big fucking hat with the feather in it.
Yes, Margaret Dumont.
Was it Groucho Marx? Did I get that right?
Yeah,
I'm really surprised that I got that right. I was going to fuck it up.
I don't remember where
or was it Charlie Chaplin?
Yes, I don't know.
I get those two confused. Because I'm 38 years old, and that should happen way before I was born.
Right. Anyway, yeah. The fact that you even know about him.
Right.
Anyway, I don't know where I picked up a shot put, but I just did. It was heavy.
Mm-hmm.
All right. And I was like, I can't fucking throw this.
Sure. Right.
So that's why I became a comic, was because I just show up, and that was the beauty of your special that I did.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
I wasn't involved in any part of it at all.
Sure.
In the planning, in the rehearsals, nothing. I showed up. I said, where do I enter from? How much time do you want me to do? I showed up. I went on stage. I did it. And then I was
Do you know
done.
that's how the performers for that night were picked?
Yeah.
Everybody that was chosen was somebody we think is A, talented, and B, wouldn't be a pain in the ass and would just show up and not ask questions.
Exactly.
You just know what you need to do and just go and do it.
Right. Which makes life so much easier.
Bromance.
Yeah.
Still.
1, 2, 3.
Here's number 3.
Here's Melissa Etheridge. Melissa Etheridge did not pass the K9 sniffing test. Todd Rundgren did, but they both got arrested for drugs on the U.S. Canadian. What year is it that I'm reading about Todd Rundgren?
Is he still around?
Hello, it's me.
I Saw the Light. That was a great song.
I got right through the U.S.-Canadian border.
Were they on tour together?
But Melissa Etheridge, she got busted a while.
Were they on tour together?
Melissa and Todd, I don't know.
Because I got to say, that is easily one of the worst shows. That
you don't like Todd Rundgren?
No, I don't.
I do.
I like a couple of his songs.
I like some pussy rock and roll every once in a while.
I like a couple of his songs.
I like Melissa Etheridge, too. You want to know why?
No, I'm not a fan either.
I had her on the radio show,
Uh-huh.
and she was surprisingly not cunty.
Okay. Well, that surprises me a
I
little bit.
really thought she
Why,
was
did you
go-
think she would come in
I really
there?
thought she was going to be kind of like...
Would you thought she'd be like some radical feminist lesbian?
And
you thought that's what she was going to be?
She wasn't in the studio. She was on the phone, but I got the feeling she was very approachable.
Uh-huh.
She allowed me to ask because some of these people, the bigger the name, the more demands they have.
Yeah.
Things you can't ask.
I know.
She was awesome. She didn't have any of those demands. We asked about David Crosby. And
Right.
She was a very nice lady. I had no problems with Melissa.
Nice.
So she was not cunty.
But that
I'm
doesn't...
going to put that in a Yelp review.
But that does not cunty.
That is, by the way, my new standard for
5 stars.
Yeah.
Really?
What's the male version of that? Because we need a word for that.
Well, douchey.
Okay, so douchey. No, because cunty is it's such a...
Right, so what would a male... Well...
the words we're not allowed to
You could use the same word to describe a male, too.
Okay,
I think
all right.
just,
So from now on, if you're not cunty to me,
Right.
you're awesome.
Right, exactly.
It's very black and white. So Melissa Etheridge is awesome.
Yo, why it got to be black?
So Melissa and Todd were both pinched on separate dates in North Dakota.
Okay. Oh, so they weren't touring together.
Yeah.
Have you been in North Dakota? I have a lot of friends, and I bet there's a lot of people who listen to our show who live in North Dakota.
I'd like to think so.
It's very nice there. I love North Dakota.
I've heard good things.
Very nice.
About the Dakotas.
I love North Dakota. You can drive really fast because there's nothing but open land for miles and miles and miles.
So I've heard.
Very nice.
I also like Dakota Fanning. She was,
John Lennon.
Interview with a
John
vampire,
Lennon
right?
lived at the Dakota, which is a very nice building.
So their buses were stopped. Their tour buses stopped on separate occasions at the U.S. Customs and Border Patrol between the states and Canada. According to documents, Melissa's was returning to the U.S. on August 17th after a canine unit detected possible drugs. Agents found marijuana oil. Cops, Oil, yeah.
Okay.
Cops said Melissa says she's using it to manage pain from cancer. It's legal in California where she lives, but not in North Dakota. So,
that makes sense.
I gotta say, so what about marijuana? You stop fighting that.
It's enough already.
It's everywhere.
Well, my neighborhood in Brooklyn is you can't walk that. No lie, I swear this just happened last night. There was a guy walking down the street with a bong, smoking pot from a bong as he was walking down the street.
Really?
Yeah, which looks douchey.
That's old school.
Yeah,
so 90s.
Yeah, so he's
70s. What is that?
You know, it's that's 60s.
I feel like that stopped.
Yeah, so
I had a bong.
Yeah,
I had a big one. I had a 6-foot bong. My dad found it, smashed it with a maul.
Wow.
Yeah, it's cool. But I'm going to reveal some startling information.